Okay, so this is Monday, day 23, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing different types of equations to actually show percentage composition and empirical formula. So your work today was to read page 341 to 350, and then what it did is it gave you a formula: percentage by mass element equals mass element divided by mass compound times 100. That is percentage composition, because percentage means part per 100. And if we had an example of 55 grams and 45 grams, you add those two together, you get 100 grams, right, of a compound. And then you multiply that by 100, you get a percentage. So this gives you where you have two elements and where it's telling you it's 55 grams of one and 45 grams of the other. First thing you want to do when you're doing these, you want to see, first of all, when you add the grams up, does it come 100 grams? And if it doesn't, you can't do the problem. So, percentage by mass is the percentage of mass equals mass of the element in a mole of a compound divided by the molar mass of a compound. So, in the book, there is a practice problem where it says NaHCO3. So, when you're doing this, you will need to have your periodic table. You will need to have your calculator to do this with. Now, there are steps that you would need to take. I am going to put something up on the computer today as an attachment, which would be like a form of a cheat sheet that I would have in my classroom. It looks like this. It might be good to have this opened up so you can actually see it, so you can use it for the steps when we're doing empirical formula from a compound. So, the first thing that you'll do is you go and you look at the subscripts. So if we look, first of all, I have Na, which is 1 mole, right? Hydrogen, which is 1 mole. Carbon is 1 mole, and I have 3 moles of oxygen. So the first thing you'll do is just write that down. So when you're doing this, you're going to do your grams over your moles, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to cancel out moles, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to do your 1 mole. So in your calculator, you're going to do 1, and you're going to open bracket, alpha y enter, 22.99, and that is over 1. And that's going to give you 22.99. Then you're going to take your 1, multiply by 108. So I'm going to do it again. 1, open bracket, alpha y enter, because it's a fraction, 1.008 over 1, close the bracket, and that's 1.008. Then you're going to do your 1 mole times 1201, which of course is 1201. And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to do your oxygen. Well, you've got 3 moles of that. So you're going to do 3, open bracket, and you're going to do alpha y enter. You're going to do 16 over 1. You're going to close your bracket, and that's going to give you 48. So to be able to find molar mass is the first thing that you're going to do. And to find molar mass is you add all them together. Once you add them all together, you will get 8401 grams of moles of NaHO3. But then you're not done. The next thing that you have to do is now we need to find out what the percentage yield is for this, or the percentage is. So we'll use that formula there. For that formula there, what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to take this total number here, and you're going to take each individual number and divide them by that. So you've got alpha y enter 22.99 over 84.01, that's the AMU molar mass of everything, and that's going to give you 27.27, and you got to multiply by 100 to get your 27.37. Now, you can round or you can write it all out. I just rounded it to 37 because if you look, it's a 6, a 5, and a 7. That's where I got that. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do your hydrogen, which is your alpha y enter, and that's 1.008, and you're going to do that over 84.01, and that's going to give you, multiply by 100, and that's going to give you 1.198, and I just rounded it to 1.200. Now, if you want to, first thing you want to do is, if you don't think you're rounding right, write all your numbers out, and then at the end, you will find out if you need to change it or not. So the next one is carbon. So for carbon, we have 12.01, so that's alpha Y, enter, 12.01. And then you're going to divide that by your AMU again, which is your 8401. And that gives, and then we're going to take that answer and multiply by 100. And that's going to give you 14.295, and I went ahead and rounded up 14.30. And then oxygen is last, which is alpha Y, enter, 48 divided by, and then you're going to do your 84.01 again, and you're going to hit your enter, and you're going to answer and multiply by 100, and that's 57.13, which I put 57.14. So, next step that you have to do is you have to go and add everything together to make sure you have 100%. So I have 27.37 plus 27.37 plus 1.200 plus 14.30 plus 57.14, and that gives me 100.01. So then I know that I need to change something, that I need to take something off. So to be able to do that, then I would just keep messing around with it until I get 100 exactly. And once I get 100 exactly, then I'm good. So the first question for number 54 is, first of all, it gives you this formula here, H3PO4. So I'm going to step you through this first problem. I'm going to put my periodic table over here so we can look at it if we need to. So this tells me there's 3 moles of hydrogen, 1 mole of phosphorus, and 4 moles of oxygen. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put mole on the bottom, because I'm trying to get rid of mole, right? I'm trying to get grams to be able to do that. So then I'm going to look on here for AMU for hydrogen, which is 1.01. Phosphorus, which is right here, and it's 30.97. And then oxygen is 16. Okay? 16.0. So I see where I've made a mistake. Sorry. Oxygen is 16.00. Yep. So I didn't make a mistake. So that's great. So we can fix it all. So then we have 4 open bracket times alpha Y enter, which is 16.00 over 1, which is equals 64 grams of oxygen. So then I'm going to do 3.03 plus 30.97 plus 64, and that's going to give me 98 grams of H3PO4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I am going to divide the number by 98 instead of instead of what I had before. So this is 98, this is 98, and this is 98. So this here is now 64. Okay, so alpha Y enter, I got 3.03 divided by 98, which is giving me that, times 100, which is going to give me 3.0918367335. And then I'm going to take my 30.97, alpha Y, enter 30.97, and I'm going to divide that by 98, and then multiply that by 100, and I'm going to get 31.6020482. And then I'm going to go and say, all right, so the last one is my 64 divided by 98, which is going to give me, multiplied by 100, that's going to give me 65.3061225. So let's see what we got. Let's do 3.10 for this one. Let's do 31, plus 32 plus 65 and see what we get. 101. Perfect. So then we're good with that. And that is the answer. So it is 65%. So for hydrogen equals 3.1. Phosphorus equals 31.6. No, 32. And then the last one. And the last one is 65% for oxygen. And so that's where I'm going to stop. Sorry for the mess. That's where I'm going to stop today on this one. And then we will do the next step in the next video. Okay, guys?